Hello, very good morning, my dear students. Welcome to the Adjustments Academy. Today we are going to discuss about rectification of errors. Now, rectification of errors. This is the last unit in chapter 2 of Institute Study Material. First, we'll understand about the errors. We have principal error, error of omission. This error of omission again divided into partial omission and complete omission. Next, we have error of commission. Then we have compensating errors. Okay. Now, let's try to understand error of principal. What is this error of principal? This error occurs due to classification mistake. What is the reason for this classification mistake? And this error occurs at the time of recording. That means only at the time of writing the journal entries, this error you will get it, or at the time of recording this into subsidiary books, this error you will get it. Okay, only at the time of recording, only at the time of recording of journal entry, at the time of recording of journal entry. Okay, now, so what is the main mistake in the classification? What is this classification mistake, sir? Classification mistake means they treat revenue expenditure as capital expenditure. They treat capital expenditure as revenue expenditure. Understood? Instead of charging that to balance sheet, they charge that to profit and loss account. Instead of charging that to profit and loss account, they will add that to asset. That is the mistake. That is the mistake in error of principle. Okay. For example, we will take freight paid at the time of buying of machinery, charged to freight expenses account. Okay, now you know already very clearly from the unit 3 of chapter 1. Okay, capital expenditure versus revenue expenditure. From unit 3 of chapter 1, capital expenditure versus revenue expenditure, you know it very clearly. You know how to divide the expenses between whether it is a capital or revenue nature. We already knows it. Okay, from the unit 3. Now look at this. Freight paid at the time of buying of machinery, generally you have to add that to, you have to capitalize that expense to asset. You have to add that expense to asset. Now what they have done in this example, what they have done, they have charged to freight expense account. That means they have charged that to, they have treated that as expenditure. Instead of adding that to asset, they have treated that as expenditure. That means here accountant treated capital expenditure as revenue expenditure. Okay now capital expenditure, where it has to go? It has to go to balance sheet. Revenue expenditure, where it has to go? It has to go to profit and loss account. Okay yes. Now here accountant treated capital expenditure as revenue expenditure. Instead of adding that to machinery, they have debited to profit and loss account. Because of that, your profit will decrease. Now look at this. What is the correct entry? What might be the correct entry? Correct entry is very simple. Add that to asset. Machinery account debit to bank account. What is the wrong entry? What they have done actually in the question, freight charges account debit to bank account. Then what will be the, how will you rectify this entry? You will rectify this entry. Look at this very clearly. Now, unnecessarily freight charges have been debited. To counter that effect, what you have to do in accounting? To counter debit, you have to use credit. So credit freight charges to freight charges account. You are supposed to debit machinery. Debit that one. Machinery account debit. Machinery account debit to freight charges account credit. Understood? Yes. Now, what is the golden rule in rectification of errors? The golden rule in rectification of errors is whatever they are not telling in the question is always correct. Whatever they are not telling in the question is always correct. That means if you understand this is the most important. So where so many students will confuse. Now if you read this example, freight paid at the time of buying a machinery, charged to freight expense account. That's it. Now in the entire example, anywhere they are discussing about the bank account, they just told they paid it. That's it. You have to ignore about that remaining bank account. See, look at this. Freight paid. What is the correct entry? What might be the correct entry? Machinery account debit to bank account. What is the wrong entry they have passed? Freight charges account debit to bank account. Here bank account is silent. You should not consider bank account while doing rectification, because whatever they are not telling is in the question is always correct. Whatever they are ignoring in the question, you also ignore in the rectification of errors. That is the most important. Yes. Now, above error. What is the above error? Principal error. What is the above error? Principal error. will not affect the trial balance, because answer is very simple. Now, what trial balance knows, sir? Trial balance knows only two things. What trial balance knows? Trial balance knows only two things. One is debit, one is credit. It doesn't matter. Debit, you all knows it very clearly. No, debit comes for expenses. When expense increase, debit will come. When asset increases also, debit will come. Here what happens? Instead of increasing the asset, they have increased the expense. Anyway, what the trial balance requires? Trial balance required only debit and credit. Instead of coming one debit, you got it another debit. Because of that reason, trial balance will match. That's it. Very good.